So two levels of Ur, one that banishes darkness, one that precludes darkness. The Chiddush, therefore, of Keitz son Lachoshech, that an end is placed to darkness, we're not speaking about simply all things having their end replaced by something else, but rather, Losid Lovai, by the final redemption, there be no possibility of darkness. And that's possible only when the light is an infinite light. That's the general answer. So it's a finite light, dispels, and infinite precludes. Analogous to the light of a flame or the light of the sun. The light of the flame which can be extinguished, the light of the sun which we cannot extinguish. Then there was the interesting, order 10, which was a diuk in the language of the Frierdiker Rebbe, who says that by a flame, shayich kiboy, being extinguished is applicable or possible. And the question is not applicable or possible, it will extinguish. What does it say? Shayich say it will. The answer in order 10 was because he's hinting, it seems Rebbe is explaining this, that even the earlier redemptions could have morphed into a final redemption and would not have been extinguished. It just, by the way, shows us the diuk, the tachlis diuk, the absolute diuk, in the language used in a maamer, and how the Rebbe articulates it in a tremendous chiddush here. Now is Gimel. Did we do is Gimel? No. Every revelation, which is what we're talking about, is through Torah, because Torah is the ultimate revelation, Torah. The pasuk itself calls it the Torah of light. So if we're saying that to nullify the Choshech of Golus to the higher level of is through the higher level of therefore, meaning God's revelation. So therefore, in order to draw near and to hasten Oidres even more, as Agula Sida, make it even closer, the final redemption. So Alidei Limud Torah being in is by learning Torah. And what's the subject within Torah? To learn about the of Oir. Out of 14, there's order 12. That's what order 12. The Maimon said, therefore, the final redemption will be one that doesn't follow Golus. So order 12, Mashakotz of Keitz Som Lachoshech. Pasuk says there'll be an end to darkness. Mashman inference is the Shaykh Os Golus who. Why want to be Golus then? Let me play the Gulasidu Oir Bilti Mugbal, not pointing to the Oir, that it's infinite, which is what we said till now, but something but the darkness has an end. So we have to understand that that is not answered at this point. That remains unanswered. The comments, if you at the end, this question will be answered. Questions clear?
The question of the mind itself, right? Like on the station.
The mind, the way we explained it, maybe to revisit it, the way we explained that, he answered the beer. He said clearly, Keitz Lachoshech. What's the end of, the Maimon said, what's the end of this darkness? It's a different kind of end. Not an end that it's being dispelled by light, but it still exists potentially. But in the end, it's like Shaykh Klal. That question was answered. Now, with this new question now is, now that we've said that comes as a result of a Gilui of Oir, so it's not an end to the darkness. The emphasis should be, there'll be an infinite light revealed. That defines redemption. The inference of the pasuk still remains that, again, the Choshech itself has a Keitz. The Choshech has a Keitz. Not that the great light comes and precludes it. What does that mean? This is unanswered completely. So that'll be answered in Sif Yud. Out of 14, So we're saying that we should be learning, therefore, now dafke in Torah itself, the subject is oir. The noise of lazeh Torah bechlal oir. In addition to the fact that Torah in general is light, as the pasuk quoted just said, b'frat pnimius Torah, especially pnimius Torah. Look at the star below. The Torah, atzmi Torah itself, galia the Torah who salma. The revealed aspect of Torah is the garment. Of pnimius Torah he oir. What pasuk is he referring to? Torah kasalma. Yeah. See the oir Torah until him on this very pasuk. So that's in general. In general, Torah is light. In more specifically, Chassidus is light. But now, most third level of being specific, it's in Chassidus Gufa, the subject of light. Clear? Yeah. Yes. I would advise not to learn, even to listen, and catch up later, because you're loize v'loize. We just said 3 levels. We got it? Gentlemen. Well, continuing now on the Maimah, Shabadrush Admor Marashab, the Maimah of the Rebbe Rashab Shem Shabbos Tisha B'Av Nitche, like this, that year was Tavshin Chav Dalet, where Shabbos Tisha B'Av fell on Shabbos. So that Maimah, the year Aderes, brought in Hemshech Chaim Beis, and he says, order 15, it's not to be pointed out, Shulachayra, on the surface, it appears that in Yonim Shemaim Zeh Einum Shayachim Kol Kachla in Yonim Bambarim Shalafon Shlacharov. The subject matter of the Maimed that he said and wrote, Shabbos Tisha B'Av, is not so overtly connected to the previous content or the content which follows, emphasizing the point that Shabbos Tisha B'Av B'chlal, which is about ending Keitz Lachoshech, what ought to be and what therefore is the appropriate subject in Torah Gufa, the union of Oir. Clear? Yes, Shloimeh. So there that the Rebbe Rashab and the Maimah speaks about the Shloimeh Shashayich is in Zel Tisha B'Av Nitchehu. Why do you speak about it on this Shabbos? Ki Tisha B'Av Shachol B'Shabbos V'Nitche. Tisha B'Av falls on Shabbos and the fast is postponed. It's a very appropriate time. It's appropriate. It should be completely and forever postponed, pushed away. And how is that done? It's they oir. Therefore, the subject of the Maimah was oir. Part 17, he sends us to the Sikha in the Sikha Chilik Lamed Gimel, where there is a Sikha explaining the Vot of the Rebbe Maharash. You hear the Vot, it sounds pretty straightforward, and an unbelievable beard on the Vot of the Rebbe, who said was also that year was Shabbos Tisha B'Av. And he said, since it's nitche, halavai should be nitche forever. Very simple statement. I hold sich api niglen, api chsidis, in the diyukim of the language of the Rebbe Maharash. Now, the subject, the heart of the Maimah begins. The subject is oir. V'zelo pashut klal lo klal. So before we go further, I'm going to tell you, this is, as you know from our previous learning, on the subject matter, others differ with me, others agree with me, on the whole nature of oir. Now, classically, ostensibly, we're speaking about oir, it's rays. So the sun is shining, and you can see the rays streaming through the window. Yeah, that's classically. I'm suggesting that's not the pshat. The only reason you see the rays, not by the way, this is part of it. The only reason you see the rays is because it's reflecting of impurities in the air. Otherwise, you wouldn't see the rays. So why in space you don't see there's no rays? Because nothing to reflect of. So l'chayre, it would appear, l'chayre, that what's the union of oir, as we've explained in the past. You tell me, how am I explaining oir? Oir is when you look at something. Now it's light. When you look at something, why are you seeing it? Let's talk about a camera, which is simpler to understand, to get the picture. You snap. Here's your phone. Yeah, you go click. There's a mountain over there. How did the mountain get on your phone? I mean, your eye is the same thing. Your eye is the most sophisticated camera possible. Why am I seeing something that's over there? Not just light is traveling, bouncing off the mountain from a source of light elsewhere. And it's traveling at a particular speed as it happens, 186,000 miles per second. And it enters your brain, and the brain decodes the light and the image you see. So what is Oir? Oir is the image you see of the object. That's what the Oir is. Not rays. You're looking at the sun's there, and the rays, you're looking at the Oir. Looking at the sun, that's Oir. What you have of the sun is Oir. But you're here, and the sun is many miles away. What's your connection? What is the sun's revealed to you? You don't have the actual sun. Now let's, using that model, see if it works. In this very profound beer, which needs a lot of research, really, but let's begin. Let's try. So the Maim explains. You don't read anything else because this is really the difficult part of the Maim. This is the Nakuda. The Oir who ayin, so he explains in the Maim, this Maim is based on which Maimer? It's a Machzedek. It's a Machzedek. No, 1 second. It started with, where's the Rabbi? What did he introduce the Rabbi Rashab? Huh? No, that was not the Hoyer. Yeah, it means that Maimer L'chayra. But just that was a parenthetic note. The Rebbe Rashab on the top of Shabbos Nitche said a Maimer about Oir. L'chayra still means that Maimer. See in the footnotes. It fits in with the subject matter. Certainly, this is something that Rabbi Rashab explains, and that is the Oir ayin. Oir is ayin, bittel. Now, as we're explaining this, what does this mean? It's not something else. That image you have is not something other than the image itself. The Oir is conveying it, but it's not doing so like a messenger. It's completely bottled. The light faithfully transmits the object which it is expressing. The distinction between light and keli means all beruchnius, friends, not begashmis, but we have the imagery we're using is gashmis, but as accurate as we can. That she'oir hu ayin v'keli hu yesh. Oir is ayin, meaning to say it has no integral entity, and a keli is a yesh. It's already a receiver. There's already an other. Oir is not other from the source. Keli is already something other than the source. Let's remember that statement. That's simply what he's saying. So far, so good. Now, by bittul the Oir, Gimel Madreg, 3 levels in the bittul of Oir to that which the Oir emanates from. The Moir, the source of the light. What are the 3 Madregas? Number 1, we're going to say the words and then revisit them immediately. Habittul the Oir mitzad atzma. First of all, there's the bittul of the Oir itself. Looking at the Oir, it conveys bittul mepaneisha Oir hu me'ein amoir, because light is me'ein amoir. Someone to translate that. Me'ein amoir. Its direct translation, me'ein, means of the type. Of the type is not a very great word, but me'ein amoir, it is a reflection.
Similar.
I know, but similar makes it really distant. I mean, it's something else. That's mamish other than this. It is of me'ain of the nature of the moed, of the luminary. Now, as we're explaining light, the luminary here is the object you're looking at. Now, it's a luminary because light is bouncing off it. So it's projecting light. So moed means that the image that it's projecting is the moed, nothing else. It isn't the moed. The object is maybe miles away from you, from your camera, from your eye. But it's me'ena moed, what you're seeing in your head. The image that you're seeing, that the light is conveying, is a faithful rendition of the moed, of the luminary. Clear? If your camera is working, your eyes are healthy and working, you're seeing what is. That's it, nothing else. You're seeing the object. That's the image you have in your brain. That's being conveyed to your brain. The brain's already the cave, you're watching it, but the light that is bouncing off and entering in your eye, or entering the camera, is me'ena moed. It's expressing the source of light, from which the light is bouncing off the object. Clear? Yes, gentlemen. A nod.
Expressing or capturing?
Capturing, expressing it. The light is emanating.
Fine. You said the word camera.
Yeah, because the camera receives the light. Camera's your brain. What's it receiving? Why isn't the camera? Why is the image recorded there? Why are you seeing the object? Because the light is traveling from the object and faithfully expressing the object. The light is carrying the image of the object. That's what it's doing. And you pick it up with your brain, with the camera.
Describing it as
Yeah.
true for MSMR, like for the sun, for example.
Same thing. When you look at the sun,
It's not, you don't see the sun because there's light projecting off the sun. The sun is creating and emanating the light.
yeah. So when you're looking at the sun, you have the sun. What's in your head when you look at the sun?
That's mitzad the keli, but not mitzad the air. The air is coming from the sun. If I'm looking at this plant, there's no air coming from the plant. It's a
Yes, it is.
reflection of other air that is there.
What difference does it make whether it's the source or it's something else balanced? The sun is exactly the same thing. When you're looking at the sun, I see this, but you have right glasses, and be careful. You see the sun. So what is it of the sun that you have? What are you seeing? It's the oil of the sun. The image of the sun that you have, that your camera has, the eclipse, that image captured what? What's the whole motif of that image? The oil. It doesn't make a difference whether and we're explaining it, whether it's a light bulb or a sun, or a light bulb of the sun hits here and then bounces.
The power and the air that the makabel is seeing. I'm not sure if it's going to be relevant.
So say that again.
It's a different relationship between the ma'ar and the air. The makabel seeing
the makabel never has the mo'ed unless he goes and grabs it in his hand. The makabel always has the oil. When you look at something, it's the oil of that you're looking at.
Yeah,
that's it. That's true of the sun, who is the source of the light, or the light bulb, or the candle, or an object that it's secondary. Light bounced off it and it comes. It's still light. You're seeing because of light. That's level number one. Me'ena moed. Level number two. Now it gets really subtle. Then there's the bittul in the oil that it feels its source. Now, this is deceptively. These are words that these words that are very open to distortion in our understanding of the subject matter, because the words that he uses, it sounds like there's some entity that's feeling something. We don't mean that. It's not what it means. What does it mean? We have to understand. But it doesn't mean that. But let's get the words again. The second level, it's a deeper bittul. Not only is it me'ena moed, But a deep level of bittul, its source is felt in it. I'll try and explain it presently, but let's just get the words. Let's just get what it's not saying. Third level, the third level of bittul, והביטול שלו מצד טבע הרוצי והעלייה שבוי, וכולל במקורי. And then there's the bittul, a third bittul, that the nature of it is to want to ascend and be incorporated in its source. Okay, so Ola Yesh Loim, but explanations as follows. First of all, you just tell me the words. Let's get the words straight. First level of bittul, he said something like what? That we kind of explained already. What's the first level of bittul? So use English to our Gil student, to our Talmud from Mir, English, pure English.
It mirrors.
A mirror, a better word, light conveys. Light conveys nothing other and accurately the source from where the light is coming, whether the sun or it's bouncing off an object. 2, second level of bittul. Now you use the words of the Maimir. We haven't explained it.
Like feels the source of
the light. It feels the source. And
is aware of the source.
No. It's aware. It's more than aware. Nirgash is feels.
Recognizes.
Huh? We're going to try and explain it, but just get the. But let's get the words. Nirgash is already more than aware. Nirgash is already. It's like it's pale something. It affects something. Third level. Most elusive. The third level.
Go back.
It wants to go back to its source. So what does all this mean? It's certainly not the nature of a physical light. So l'chayda, I'll tell you, the explanation I said now, I bounced it off. Some people, including Zalman, who was thinking about it and hasn't got back to me yet. So we'll see what he has to say. If he has more to share, I'm happy to share it with you with other mashpim too. So far, I haven't gotten anything back. I heard what he said. Okay. Let's try and explain this. So the first level of bittul we explained. The second level of bittul is like this. We have to contrast it with the first. The first level is statement number 1, observation number 1. The image, you're looking at your camera. Make it very simple. You took a picture of something. So you got a picture of something that happened that was captured in your camera. This is a faithful rendition of that which you took the picture of. Gambarno. Yes? But what are you looking at? You're looking at your camera. Looking at the image on the camera. Second level is shenirgish by mekayrai. As you're looking at the picture, it's not simply the picture, but it draws you to the source. Looking at the picture deeper now, you're having an appreciation of the mountain, of the whatever the picture you took the picture of. The first thing is the objective fact that what is this? It's a picture of a mountain. The second thing is, looking at the picture now, we appreciate the mountain. The more we examine the picture, the more we appreciate the mountain. It's pointing out to the source.
That's mitzvah the keli very strongly.
What's that?
That's mitzvah the keli very strongly. The recipient.
But we want to separate the recipient from the actual image. The image is summoning from the recipient. That's what's said. The image, yes, summoning from the recipient. That's because of the if they clear. We're talking about oil now, not the keli. So this is where it gets really subtle. It's the image is eliciting. Look, appreciation of the mountain, because that's the nature of oil. its bittul is so great, it's so nothing other than the image that it projects, that it draws, that's the result will be the one looking at the photograph, at the picture, is appreciating the mountain.
The Lashon Nirgash makes some sense.
That's what Nirgash means. So even though we're talking about the oil is now, let's try and put this in oasis. We're not talking about the viewer, not the keli. We are talking about the three dargis in oil. We're saying the consequence of the second dargah. But that's because in the oil, Nirgash by Makorai, its bittul is so great that it just says mountain, not this is a picture of a mountain. It says mountain. First level is this is a picture of a mountain. The third level of what the picture says is mountain. And that it's an image of the mountain. It's the oil of the mountain that recedes. It's just a deeper appreciation of what you're looking at. Because we're measuring it in our response. Because that's the only way we can measure it. And the third level is Teva Ha'aliyah, I want to go to this mountain. Or if taking a picture of a person or a place, I want to go there. It so faithfully reveals the beauty of that which it took a picture of that it draws me to the market. Now we're talking about the Eibishter, friends. This is all a marshal for the Eibishter. Let's do this, walk it through together. Again, now McGill student sitting here like scratching. He said, what are you talking about? God? So what are you saying about him? Very simply, as I put it to the Mashpim, talk about God to me, tell me what God is doing. What does this mean? So, Oyer means God's revealing himself. That's what Oyer means. Now, that itself is a big Chiddush revelation, is no otherness, but in fact, he's given rise to the notion of otherness and God's revealing himself. So, there's three levels of appreciation, as it were, of God revealing his presence. Level one, there is a God. That truth is revealed. God's revealing the truth. There's an Eibishter. Me'ein Amoyer, that truth is a fact. That is Me'ein Amoyer, that says the emes, that there is a God. Nirgish by Mekoiroi, there's one thing that Hashem reveals, that there is a God, but I'm kind of, okay, there is a God, and I'm out of, observing this and acknowledging it. That's a fact. Nirgish by Mekoiroi, Hashem reveals himself in such a way that I feel his presence. First is the objective acknowledgement that he exists. Then is I feel his presence. And thirdly, I want to be one with him because he's the only reality. He reveals his presence in such a way that that everything else just needs and wants to be part of this truth because it's the only truth. So let's rephrase that. Again, I'm hoping Be'ez Hashem, this is correct. If you understand light just as rays, I don't know how completely different model you'd be talking about. But anyway. Rays, you're looking, not the sun, you're looking at the ray coming through.
I think that there's a misunderstanding about, with all due respect, of what a ray is.
But that's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying. But the way it's explained is it's rays.
That's what I don't think you've understood. When you go to classical physics these days, the light is described in two ways, two theories.
The string theory,
particle and waves.
And string theory. Yeah.
I don't know string theory. Yeah. But I know that rays is always very difficult in school to understand because it's not something traveling like that. It has an entity without having an entity. It's very much like the way you describe it.
What I was talking about is the way it's explained. It's not physics. Just classically, the Mashpia talks about it. And he's talking about the light streaming through the window that you see, literally rays emanating in the sky or in the sky. And I think that's not the pshat. The pshat is we're talking here, which is what you're invoking, I think, too. Okay, so let's try and rephrase this again, the three levels. Help me. What's the first one? Me'ein Amoyer, that's the three subsequently deepening levels of bittul. The first level of bittul is the image conveys what? The truth of what? Of what it's conveying. Translate that with the God be the Eibishter. Hashem reveals himself in such a way that what? We know there's a God. And that's an absolute statement of truth. There is a God. A second level of bittul is a deeper revelation that God makes himself known. Not he doesn't make himself known that there is a God, but he reveals his presence such that nirgish by mekayrai. Now we can talk about that elicits a response of us feeling the source, a sense of the ongoing creation, etc., feeling it, not just objective truth, and I'm outside of it. But now already it's engaging in pale a deeper bittul, because he's revealing his presence in such a way, not only we can know there's a God, but to experience and feel him. Sorry, Hamadrege. And what's the third level? He reveals his absolute presence in such a way that what's the result? Teva harotzi v'aliyah shebeli kol b'mkayrai. That what? We're measuring this in the result of the person's response. Level one, I know there's a God. Two, I feel God's presence. I can see his presence. Etc. I look at creation and marvel and can feel, see. Level three, nothing but him. The kol b'mkayrai. His reality is so absolute that everything that exists, or in this case, the person, we're using the person as the reaction. We're measuring the level of the revelation by the reaction is Engden Mulvadai. To be completely absorbed within God because he is the only reality, to express that absolute reality within me, to surrender every sense of separation and otherness and yeshes, and completely be bottled to the source.
What is that in light? How do you describe that in light? Is that the wants to be in the mar?
It's the etzem that expresses that there's no there's no revelation, there's no distance, altes atzmus. In the first Moishe we gave of the beautiful scene, the picture captured a beautiful, idyllic scene in Hawaii. I'm saying Hawaii because I was in Hawaii for my niece's wedding, one of the most beautiful places. It was unbelievable, where pristine rivers, fresh water meets the ocean, and there's this meeting point of the just exquisite. Hawaii is a very beautiful place. Anyway, so a picture of this place. Sorry. So the first Me'in Amoyed is look at the picture. What are you looking at? This is a picture of Hawaii. Me'in Amoyed, that's what it is. Second level of appreciation of the picture is nirgish by mekayrai. Not just objective statement, the fact this is Hawaii. You look at the picture even deeper and you ponder it and you feel the beauty. And the third level is you want to go there. This picture invoked that you want to go there. It's three true statements about this photograph. Three levels of bittul. What is it? It's a picture of Hawaii. Look at it deeper. Wow. Nirgish by mekayrai. Ponder even deeper. I've got to be there.
Why don't you use the mushal?
Huh?
You can use
That
the
is the
mushal.
motion.
I said you can also say this mushal l'chayra about the Rebbe. He mirrors these three things.
No, yeah, okay. Go ahead. No,
I'm just saying. Bittul the mitzad atzmai, b'pnei shumein amar.
yeah, he knows it's the Rebbe.
Bittul shabai. No, you look at the Rebbe and you see this. Bittul shabai oshenigish by mekayrai.
Are you saying
bittul of
something
the
else?
Rebbe. I'm saying of three bittles of the Rebbe.
I don't know.
thought.
Again, I don't know. I'm hesitating. You're putting, defining his bittul.
What are you going to define? Bittul of a camera? I don't mean it in a negative way, but here you can see. I mean, this is just a thought as you're saying this.
What are you saying?
Okay.
Huh?
We're shaykh to have these bittul. Speaking about a Rebbe.
Different level of tzaddik. The tzaddik she'ena gomer and tzaddik gomer, and the tzaddik gomer is the third level of it.
Just a thought.
Akoponim. So, all right, Beis Hashem to revisit. Now tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm here. Yeah, Friday will be on Zoom only. Beis Hashem. We'll be out of town. Back for Shabbos. Okay, today's story, gentlemen. Okay, so we have some clarity. Yeah. What am I going to say now? There is no substitute for what? Chazorah and thinking about it yourself in your own language, your own words. The mind goes in deeper and deeper in these three levels of bittul.